It is Monday. It's the 18th of July. It's Tori's birthday. Happy birthday, Tori. I am heading out to go to the same property that I went to on Thursday and Friday of last week, which ended up being kind of a waste of time both times when I went then, but meeting the owner this morning, hopefully get a little bit more of a result from today's visit. Good weekend. I recorded on Friday. I have not had a chance to post that or process that. We skipped our lunch hour in exchange for leaving an hour early on Friday so we could try and get on the road quicker to get down to the coast so that we could camp for the weekend. And it was rush to get through the day and to get home and get that done. But it went well, and I tend to get extremely irritable in those situations, especially when I'm got time on my mind, time being a factor driving me, that I want to be somewhere before a specific timeline. And yesterday Friday we were kind of racing against the clock to get down to the coast and get set up before the sun went down. So I didn't want to set up our campsite in the dark. So I really wanted to be on the road by 5, and we did some stuff on Wednesday and Thursday to try and get ready for the trip. We went some camping, rounding up all the gear. It's been over 2 years since we camped, so rounding up all the gear and all the things that we wanted to take, making sure we had everything we were going to need ready to go, and we just didn't get quite as far as we wanted to. Coming this week, I really felt kind of run down. I felt like I was coming down with something, and so come Thursday night, by 7-8 o'clock, I was pretty wiped out. I just didn't feel like I had the strength to do much, and I didn't want to push the limit. Ended up being sick on the weekend while we were trying to camp. So just basically Thursday night said, all right, that's all we're doing now. We're just gonna have to do everything else before we go. And so we left the office and went home, and I was scrambling to get everything packed and get it loaded in the car, and it was 5:30 before we had everything done. And for the most part, we got everything we needed. A handful of items that I was like, damn it, I wanted to bring that, or shit, I forgot that. And but we got out of the driveway. It was 5:35, so it was about a half an hour later than I really wanted to get out, but I knew we'd still, providing traffic was okay, we would probably still get there just under the wire, just before sunset, and have some time in the daylight to set everything up and not be trying to set everything up in the dark. But sunset for the coast for Friday was, I think, supposed to be 8:34. We pulled into the parking lot at the ranger station at like 8:15. I'm like, all right, if we can get through and get it, set up pay for our camping and get out and get on the beach, we should have enough time to really set up the basic essentials. We still needed to buy firewood and ice to re-ice the coolers about ice before we left, but it was already pretty much melted by the time we got down there, which is what happens every time we drive down, so it was anticipated. But there was a line of people in the ranger station taking care of whatever business, and it was took me 15-20 minutes to get out there. So the sun was already below the horizon by the time we got onto the beach, and we used the last 30 minutes of daylight to get the tent set up and get everything out of the cars. And it was just after 9 when I left to drive to the gas station to get ice and firewood. It was pretty much dark by the time I left to go do that, and then it was really dark by the time I got back and had to set up the campfire and get that going so that we'd be able to cook dinner. And but it worked out. We got it all set up. We got dinner cooked and ate, and we were able to really kind of take in pretty good section plotted out for ourselves, and the tents were spread out, so we all had some privacy, and it was nice. And like I said, not a lot of people around us on either side, not a lot of activity, so the dog wasn't barking a lot, but we took her out a couple times to run in the water, and honestly, one of the most exhilarating things I have ever done in my life. And enjoyed it even more. And I think the impact that it had on me once I got back home and started to think about it, and I really didn't even think about it. It was just there. It was just running like a program in the back of my mind, and I was aware of it going, but I didn't interfere with what I was doing yesterday. I was able to come home and unpack everything, do some things around the house, water some plants, get myself cleaned up, take a shower, go out to eat, and come home and take a nap. And it was just all a really good experience. And then I got up and got ready to make dinner, and just I really felt like the impact it had on my being, my person, my consciousness, just it really put a new perspective on things. And all the things that I stress about on a daily basis, especially work-related, seem even more trivial after all that. Having experienced that, I felt like I had really kind of tested myself. It really is kind of a test of your will when you're used to relaxing in your house. But I had a new appreciation for my house, for my home. I had, but didn't feel like I had an attachment. There was an appreciation without an attachment, which is I've experienced before, and I really like that. But again, it had more impact. Looking at my home and saying, "This is the home we've built. This is our comfort spot." But it was nice to get out of it and go someplace. And I don't want to say we were uncomfortable, but to a certain extent, we had left the comforts of our home. That's a legitimate, almost cliche, and returned with an appreciation, but again, a lack of attachment. I'm like, I could move from this house. I don't feel like I have to stay here. I have to, there's any strong significance to this individual home. Well, as much as I love being there, I love the home itself and what we've done with it. It's not anything that's going to deter me from making decisions to go somewhere else or do something else. And I just can't stress it enough. It had a big impact on me, and I'm really looking forward to continuing on this path, because what I'm trying to do is trying to incorporate more situations, more circumstances like that into my life. And there's nothing wrong, absolutely nothing wrong with sitting around on your comfortable sofa in front of your 50-inch TV with your 100-watt surround sound, drinking a beer, enjoying your air conditioning and your ceiling fan, and just relaxing, because it's pleasurable. But for me, I need some. I don't need, I guess, but the contrast just adds more depth to my life and my experience and my level of enjoyment and my quality of life. So, I mean, that was the intent behind it, the philosophical driving factor behind doing all that, to go camping and schedule all these other things. We have another trip to the coast coming in 4 weeks for our anniversary, which we'll be staying at a 4-star hotel, which will be a little bit different, but still, it's a fantastic experience. And I want to try and do something like that at least once a month. I mean, that's where I'm at right now. I'm still 100% behind, especially in this business, doing some kind of big vacation, like a week vacation once a quarter. I think that's perfect. I think that's absolutely perfect right there. I think it helps you maintain your ability to stay separated from the drama that you're involved in every day. And that's what I felt like when I came back yesterday. And we were only gone for one full day, a couple hours one night, and a couple hours the next morning. So it seemed like a week's vacation, but it was only less than 48 hours that we were away from our home. It was 2 nights sleeping away, but it had a huge impact. I felt like I could continue to move forward with what I was doing. I didn't feel like the things that I deal with on a daily basis, especially the circumstances that I'm currently involved in, the dramatic situations that I have, that they had as much impact on me. I felt, again, that separation, that ability to address them with a neutrality that I have a lot of difficulty once a month doing some kind of event that's outside of the realm of what I would normally do. I mean, if I did the same thing, if I went camping every weekend, it would lose its impact. It would become mundane. It would become something that I do on a daily basis. It'd be, no different than me sitting on my couch watching TV. So, I have no intention of trying to go camping again anytime soon. I think it was fantastic. It had a huge impact, but it's, I think it has that impact because we do it so rarely. But, I want to try and do something either new, experience something new, go someplace new, or something that maybe I only do once a year. I want to do something like that every month. And if I can do it more than once a month, I think I'm going to try to. And I think every 3 months should be there should be some type of some time off work, vacation, where it's above and beyond what you would normally get off. And that's where I'm going with my life. That's where I'm trying to drive my situation and my circumstances. So en route to Corpus, for some reason, I've talked about the possibility of opening a restaurant. I've talked about the opening of a bed and breakfast or an inn or something like that. Some of those high ideal things that we'd like to do maybe sometime down the road. I've talked about trying to lay some groundwork with a food truck. Bottom line is I do, as much as I've shifted my perspective for property management, specifically working where I'm working now and the people I work with, and feel like I need to make a change, and I've kind of reduced that sense of urgency that I need to do it now. I'm definitely going to get through the year, and but I want to do something on my own. I mean, the whole purpose is to start my own business, and it really hit me as we were driving down to the coast. And this is the second time in 2 weeks that we've made that drive and went down there. I started looking at how my life has gone since we came to Texas, what we set out intending to do when we left the Quad Cities, and what's happened since we've been here. I have to take into account that everything happens for a reason. Everything that has happened in my life is exactly the way it's supposed to happen, and I try to understand, how that could influence my impulses and where I've made it drive me to go. So I haven't ruled out the food truck thing. It's still something I'm excited about doing, but it hit me that if I could have my own property management company, since I've already invested 5 years now into this industry, if I could have my own company and do that, and maybe do it outside of, maybe with the Boardwalk badge, maybe a branch down on the coast or something like that, just Rhonda and I start our own. I don't know, it's just something I was kicking around, and I felt pretty good about it when I was thinking about it, and it just gave me some new hope, some new options that I hadn't really considered. And I didn't want to say anything about it through the weekend. I wanted to get through the weekend, and I did do that, which was great. But I mentioned it to Rhonda on the way up, and at first she was like, why would we move? And then she said, well, how would you do this? What would you do this? She had a lot of questions, but then I think she started to think, maybe, hey, maybe that's not a bad idea. Maybe we could do something like that. And ideally, we're looking to generate more revenue. We want to make more money. I have to write this down. And but I also want to be self-employed. I want to be my own boss. And even if I was opening a branch, if we worked something out, negotiated something with Steve, not saying that that's what we're going to pursue, but it's the starting point for the thought process of what we could or maybe possibly make happen. He would still be the broker, and I would still be subject to his ideas on how a business should be run, but I think I would get more free reign and be able to make some of the decisions and the choices that I think, because I've definitely in this process come up with my own personal philosophy of towards property management. While I'm not driven and motivated and inspired by it like I am with hospitality industry, I definitely see it as a way to make a living, and I've definitely come up with some philosophies and ideas that I think not only make it a better business, but make me a better person in pursuing. So I have to meet this owner here, and it looks like his car is here, so I'm going to go try and find him somewhere on this property and take care of the business I need to take care of, and then we'll be trucking on down the road to the next site. But to be continued.